Hi, it's Carly McAvoy. I'm doing the final exam review today, and this is chapter 4. I only have one question to show you on this, but I have several things that I want to talk to you about on this one question. So this says solve the compound inequality and graph. When you see the word and, it's asking for an intersection. When you see the word or, it's asking for a union. And either one of those could come up on your final. This one happens to be an and. First, I'm going to solve these very quickly. Solving inequalities the same way you would solve an equation. That would be 18 and x is less than 6. I'm going to go ahead and graph that. If this is 6 and it's less than, I have parentheses because there's no equal to part. So remember that greater than, equal to, or less than is a bracket, and greater than and less than is a parentheses. These brackets, and this one is parentheses, right? So that's how I know it's a parentheses, and then it goes in this direction because it's less than. Okay, and then the second one, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides and divide both sides by -2. When I divide by a negative, it reverses the direction of the arrow, so I get x is less than 3, less than or equal to 3. And so if I'm going to put that on the same graph, here's my 3, it's going to be like this, and it's going to be forever to the left. Now, because it said and, they're asking what is the intersection of this graph? And this graph overlaps from 6 on down. It doesn't have, the red part of that is not there, so up here. So this part is not part of the overlap. Okay, so for the final answer, our graph looks like this. It just is the 6 part, like that. And then our answer for the interval notation would be -infinity to 6. Infinity always has parentheses because you can't include the last number, which is what the brackets kind of say, include that last number. And so that's going to look like that. Now, if I did the same problem, the exact same problem, but said or, then I'd be saying combine them together. And if I did that, that first equation would be from 6 on down, and the second one would be from 3 on down. And if I combine those together, it would just be the 3 on down, right? And my answer would be -infinity up to 3 with a bracket because there was a bracket at 3. So if there was an or, you combine them. If it's an and, you look at where they overlap. So let's say that, I'm not going to solve the equations, but let's say I had x is less than -2 and x is greater than 1. Well, if you look at that on a graph, x is less than -2. Sometimes I can't talk and write at the same time. This is x is less than -2, and this is x is greater than 1. If the word and is in there, then the answer is no solution because there's no place where they overlap. And is talking about an intersection, just like think about two roads. Where do they intersect? That's where they cross each other, right? Those graphs would have no crossing. But if I did the same problem with an or, then I would have the graph -2 going forever to the left and 1 going forever to the right. And I'm saying or, so that means it could be one part or the other part. You combine them up. And that would look like -infinity up to -2 with a union of 1 to infinity. So that's how you would write the interval notation for two parts like that. So be careful on your test that those kind of things could happen. Actually, there's one more thing that could happen. I could say x is less than 3 or x is greater than or equal to -2. And if you look at this one, notice I'm saying or. So we're combining them up, right? And so this one looks like at 3, and I'm going less than that. And then over here at -2, and I'm going greater than that. So what part of the graph, when I combine those together, does it actually cover? It covers all of it. So it's the entire graph, and that would be -infinity to +infinity. But what if I had the same thing with an and? Well, in this one, I'm saying that I have 3, and it's going that way. And I have -2, and it's going that way. And the and is asking me where do they overlap. And so in this case, my final answer would be they just overlap here from -2 up to 3. And so I'd have -2 to 3, a bracket at -2, and a parentheses at 3. So those are all the things that can happen, or all the possibilities that could come up on your final. All right, have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time.